What's going on, everybody? Hope you're all having an awesome friggin' Saturday. But let's talk about this bitch, Chad Doerman. You know, the kid or the guy in Ohio that on June 15th, so 9 days ago, killed his 3 little children, ages 3, 4, and 7. And his wife tried to obviously get in and stop him, and he shot her through the hand. Now, I've seen a lot of footage about it, and I've read a lot, and then I've seen the body cams. And I will tell you first and foremost, the cop that walked him back to put him in the car, Doerman or whatever, we're gonna call him Bitch. Bitch was trying to talk, and the cop said, "Listen, you have the right to remain silent, and I think you should fucking use it," was that cop's words. And that, to me, was the best thing ever. But anyway, this guy executed, lined them up in the living room, ages 3, 4, and 7. He shot one got out and ran off and got, like, they said, like 300-400 feet, I think. And then Bitch ran after him and grabbed him and brought him back in the house and killed him, and then killed the other's brother. And when all this was going on, the mom called 911, which, you know, ma'am, I am so sorry that you have to go through this. I am so sorry that you lost your children. Because to me, if you know, to me, if you hurt a woman or a child, and you're a man, you hurt a woman or a child, I hope the worst shit ever on you. I hope the most torturous, painful death that you could ever imagine if you hurt a woman or a child. I've always been that way. But this bitch, you know, Chad, bitch, remember, he's bitch. He pleaded not guilty, and they set his bond at like 20 or 25 million, which is the most ever a bond ever issued in that county of Ohio. So we know he's not getting out either way, and we know he is never going to touch freedom again. He is going to go to prison. Now, I hope, because he pled not guilty, and I hope that, you know, once they say we'll take death penalty off the table, he'll just plead guilty. That's my hope. I hope that, because if you're on death row in prison, you're not in general population. You know, you get your own little thing. It's kind of like the Hole. You know, they have a lot of prisons have a death row wing, and you know that's where they would be. You know, but let me tell you what this guy's looking forward to. Now, some of you know, and some of you don't, but I'll tell you all, I don't give a shit. I'm not ashamed. I'm not embarrassed. I don't regret it, because for everything I've ever done in life, it made me a better person and a better husband and a better father. But like I said, for the ones that don't know, I have been in prison. I have done years in prison. I have been arrested numerous times. I wasn't always this rainbow of fucking sunshine that I am now. I mean, I wasn't always this wonderful, sweet guy. But anyway, what this dude's looking forward to. Okay, I happen to be in prison, and the first one on this particular sentence, I was in Cumberland, Maryland, and then I had an issue, and I decided that a guy looked better with a pull ball on the side of his head, and then I went to the Hole. Segregate, you know, the shoe. I was in there for 93 days. So then they transferred me to Farrington, New Jersey. Farrington was interesting, we'll say that, because I was in there with some of the meanest, craziest, nicest, best, politest guys you've ever met in your life. I was in there with a lot of some mafia families, from different mafia families, because it was in New Jersey, so it was in that little corridor of the world. of the country. But, you know, there's one thing. Well, there's two things. You can't be a narc, a snitch, a rat, whatever you want to call it, and be in prison in general population. And you cannot hurt children and have a enjoyable stay in prison. So this guy is going to get fucked up. And like I said, I pray he doesn't get the death penalty. That way, he has the ability to hit Gen Pop. And if he hits Gen Pop, I promise you on everything I love in life, I promise you, he will get beat to death on a daily basis. He'll probably get killed because he's going to get he's getting life sentences. That's guaranteed. He's never touching freedom again. So he's going to go to a maximum security, which means you're not in there with the guy that stole the pack of gum. You're in there with the guy that stole the pack of gum and killed the 17 people that saw him steal a pack of gum. But some of the things I've seen just in, you know, my time is, okay, there was a couple of them stand out. There was a guy who molested a child, and he happened to be at our prison. They usually send them in that part of the country. They send them to North Carolina. It's either Buckley or Buckner. I can't remember which one it was, but that's where a lot of the child molesters and stuff like that go. And not all of them. I mean, so if somebody's in there, that doesn't mean that they molested a child. But anyway, I was in there, and one of my cellmate was the shot caller for the Serrano Mexican gangs. And I was really, really good with these people. I was really cool with them. And my cellmate at the time, his name was Caesar. Caesar would give me a heads up. He would like, hey, don't be on the yard at this time on this day. You know, he would give me a heads up that something was going to happen. He trusted me that I would not say nothing. I wouldn't run to the COs and like, hey, this shit's getting ready to happen. I wasn't that guy. I'll never be that guy. But, you know, he said, he would say, don't be at the yard on this day at this time. And I wouldn't. And then I would just hear about it, or I would ask Caesar after everything was done what happened. And one that stands out was this guy had killed I think she was 8 or 9, but before he killed her, he molested her. And he happened to be at our prison, and my cellmate ordered a hit. And this guy was in a wheelchair. This pedophile was in a wheelchair, and 10 Mexican Serrano gang members went up and stabbed the shit out of him in the yard. So, kudos. Then I was we had our TV room that was in our dorm. We was watching TV, and Caesar came up and tapped me on the shoulder and said, come here. And so I went with him, and he said, just stay in the cell for a little bit. I was like, all right, cool. And there was another guy that had like beat up his wife or girlfriend and fucked up a child. I mean, like permanently damaged this little baby. And Caesar ordered something on this guy. So you're sitting there, you're looking straight up at the TV, you're just watching TV. Well, Serrano came up, had a hot iron that you iron your clothes with in each hand, and smashed them on the side of this guy's head. And, you know, again, you deserve it. Caesar, kudos. But this guy, this Chad bitch, I hope and pray to God that he doesn't get the death penalty. I need him to touch general population for one day. And I promise you on everything in my life, he will get fucking manhandled. He will get fucked, literally. He will get beat. He will get killed at some point. You know, his best option is to take death row or the death penalty, and if he doesn't get that, then his best option is to take PC, which is protective custody. And you'll say in the hole, well, it's pretty much the whole. you'll stay by yourself in your own unit for, however long time, But I knew people that, that was in PC that I had heard about, and I'm like, all right, how long has he been there? And they were like, oh, he's been there for like 17 years. I'm like, what the fuck? But anyway, Chad, bitch, I hope you get everything coming at you. Them little babies didn't deserve anything. They looked at you for guidance, for support, for love, and you put a fucking gun to their head. So I hope you get everything that you've ever feared in your life. I hope it comes right at you and sits right on your fucking head. You're a bitch!